This is Sid Haig, and you're listening to the Timo and Harley Show. And you better keep listening. I'll come over there and put my boot all up in your ass.
Welcome to the Timo and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to Timo and Harley Show. I am Timo. Over there's my partner in Mindcrime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, I have a hunch, Harley.
Hunchback. Wait a second.
Could go either way. Could go either way,
my man. Yeah. Could go either way. Yeah.
So, how the hell's it going, Mr. Ben Harley?
It's going pretty good, Timo. It's, busy.
Yeah.
Busy little beaver over here, but, not yeah, well, yeah.
Oh,
and my teeth hurt, my
we talked about achy teeth. No, it's okay.
Yeah. But my front two teeth are hurting.
Oh boy.
But my buck teeth. But I'm just busy, trying to get this last rush of the fall season done, and then maybe I could take a break and get some color back in my body. Yeah, exactly.
Screw your body; it's over, buddy. Just keep working and forget about it. Stop your belly aching. Quit your chirping.
Yeah.
You're chirping over there.
Get back to work. What are you doing a podcast? Get back to work.
Right. So let's see here, Mr. Ben Harley. A few things we wanted to go through. Wanted to remind everybody that October 21st, Ultraman, the band I'm playing, is playing with Mike Watt at the Duck Room in St. Louis. November 29th, Black Friday, my other band, Fragile Porcelain Mice, which actually I'm way more known for. Ultraman's a really well-known old band around here, but I'm not known for being in it. Yeah, well, I'm not even known for being in it. So, but Fragile I am. So, and we are playing November 29th, The Pageant with The Urge, and 6% on the bill, too. So we got that going on. Let's see, Mr. Ben.
That's going to be good.
Also.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I got my Hicks collar out. We are going to have a Hicks season coming up in late November.
Very soon.
Yes.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, you might, by the time you hear, I was thinking about this, by the time you hear it, it might be the beginning of December because of the week delay from when we record to when people hear this.
Sure.
We do pre-record it and edit and everything. So, nonetheless, there will be a Hicks season, at least a couple of shows, I would think.
Yeah.
All centered around the Thanksgiving Fragile Porcelain Mice show. I think Danny wants to see that one. So,
good.
So that'll be a good time.
I'd like to see that one, Tim.
Well, you know what? It's a free country. Come on out.
I heard there's turkey that, I don't know if turkeys fly from up here down there, but I know you have turkeys in your front yard there, don't you? Yeah.
Turkeys flying from my yard to the trees to roost.
So maybe if I could hitch a ride on a turkey. Jerky turkey all the way down. Yeah, that would be fun, actually.
What was the airline and the rescuers? The Albatross Airlines or whatever? Just take the Albatross. I think you can afford that one.
I'm sure I can.
Getting your rolled up sardine can and sitting there. Come on over. So let's see. Another announcement, Mr. Ben Harley, I like to make. I'm getting old. Start calling me Four Eyes. I got glasses.
Oh, you did, huh?
A prescription.
Four Eyes.
I had to get
can you see space, or can you see how'd that go back in the day?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
I'll get back to you on that one.
They gave me the color test too. I just looked at them like, screw off. Like he said, like, no. They had like a half dozen color tests. I'm like, look, I saw one of them. Clearly, the other ones were just like a bunch of like what I see when I'm drinking, just a bunch of bubbles.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Let's see, Mr. Ben Harley. Also, last week when we recorded, we really didn't have it. There wasn't really enough time to wrap our heads around this. Just wanted to give our condolences to friends and family of Sid Haig.
Yes.
Who was a major mainstay on the convention scene. I did not know him very well. Talked to him a couple times. We all did.
Yes, sir.
I will say one thing. I thought he was kind of a salty guy, but I promise you he had a lot of friends in the convention community. And he did appreciate his fans, whether or not I might have had and I don't mean he was rude or anything, just salty. I'm a little salty sometimes, so.
You're extra salty.
I'm like sea salty. But he was definitely a guy who got it, who understood that he was a bit character actor who was noticeable because of his unique looks. But definitely had a lot of friends in the community, the horror community. It was very good to a lot of people. A lot of people loved him. Yep. And condolences. And I did enjoy some of his work. Spider Baby, I love the movie Spider Baby. And we have a direct line from Sid Haig to this week's official film. Believe it or not.
Oh, yes. Nice, good. Yeah, I was I got to meet Sid a few times over the years, but I actually sat and ate pizza with him and Rachel Lee.
Oh yeah.
And a couple ladies back in Virginia Beach, Blown at the Beach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which was nice. Yeah, it wasn't awkward, but it was still kind of surreal, you know, a little bit. But super nice guy, you know.
Oh yeah. That's why I mean, like, salty doesn't mean he wasn't a good guy. He was just like I said, he was like me.
Salty.
I'm a little saltini. I'm a little cracker. A little salty. That's right. I'm a saltine cracker. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, we never really said anything, so we wanted to just pass on our condolences. Godspeed, Sid Haig. Peace.
Yes, sir.
I hope you rest in peace, and we will continue to watch your films. And so very, very unfortunate. It is a good run. 80 is a good run. But he did have friends, and it was always kind of a comfort. He was a comfort food at a show. You saw him, you're like, oh, there he is. All right, cool.
There he is.
Now you know it's your horror show. You got Sid Haig there. He's setting shit up at his table. He's ready to go and ready to have a drink in the bar with everybody. So good times. And you know that I always have a lot of respect for the guys that will have a drink at the bar with the fans. You know, I'm all about. I don't care if I like you or not. I respect that. Because you know why you're there. You know why you're there. You're not there because you're hot shit. You're there because we think you are. And that's a big deal. And I appreciate that understanding. So very good, Mr. Ben Harley. So not very good. He passed.
No.
But what a life. What a life. So yeah. The world would be a lot different than Sid Haig. That's for sure. So let's see here. Moving on. Now I'll be off air here before we got going the show. We had a conversation about, let's say, nosy neighbors. Right? We'll talk about that. So, and I told you that I have decided to, at all costs, avoid going places. I could just stop there, right? I thought about it, I could just stop there and it's fine, because I really do avoid going places. So except
the store,
right? Well, I had to eat somehow, and well, I have to eat. So
you need nourishment.
I do.
So the rest of the family. Yeah.
That's true too. Yeah, maybe deodorant helps. So but I really try not to go somewhere where I have to depend upon the courtesy of others for my enjoyment of that. Said time. A movie theater. Great example. So my little buddy, our little buddy, Chance, he is a thespian, believe it or not. He's an actor now. He's
an actor. Yes.
He might be a guest at Horror Hound at this point. I'm not sure, you know. So he was in a school play, and he played a sensitive dad. He would break down crying and stuff. Yeah, he did. I'm telling you, honestly, it's not because he's my kid. I'm probably harder. I'm like the coach. It's harder on his son.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying it. He did a good job. And a couple of his other little friends that are kind of shit knobs, they did a good job too. I thought they all did a and Chance is a shit knob too sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I know this. But some of his other fellow shit knobs, I'm making this, that's a kind of a nice little term, shit knob. Some of his fellow shit knobs.
We know what,
they've done okay. They did okay. It wasn't too bad. I couldn't understand a word anybody was saying because there was bad audio and stuff like that. But anyway. So
and you're an engineer.
There, and I started hearing stuff. And Angie looks at me and goes, "That's just awful." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Little girl back there has her phone on watching a video." I'm like, when I looked up, I was like, well, there's another kid watching a video. I turned around. No. Volume was up. and they had a girl come out before each act with a sign that said, "Quiet, please." And a sign walked all the way across the stage with a sign, "Quiet, please. Quiet, please." You know? And we were all turning around staring at this mother who was sitting right next to her. And this little girl, it's like, either bring earbuds or turn the shit down. You know what? Get the fuck out of the room. And don't tell me, you're not telling me to leave. Well, you're not going to sit there and do that. I mean, if this was at a different place, she'd get kicked out.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
I'm surprised someone did not say something.
Oh, how was
well,
close.
I mean, like, even someone like at the school.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I was close. I was turning around looking at it right in the eyes, and she would make eye contact, and I would not break it. You know what I mean? Like, usually you break it, you're like, okay, all right. Yeah. She saw me like, no. I'm looking right at her. She looked at me like almost confused as to what my problem was.
You're like, the noise coming.
Well, like, again, lends to my point. So anyway, but great babe up for the play. For a stupid little girl that could have punted across the parking lot for doing that. Tell you what that would have been like if that was my kid.
Oh, yeah.
It would never have happened in the first place. So, and I saw a lot of people on their phones and stuff, but it's different to me when you have it dimmed and turned off, turn the audio turned down. Do what you want. Sure. I don't care. You're the one sitting there. If you want to go somewhere and look at your phone, that's your idiot problem, not mine.
Yeah,
my phone was turned off.
At that point, you're at a play like that. Just, man, you can't take a few minutes and just watch instead of I mean, I don't get it, man. Yeah. I don't know.
I wasn't worried about a text or a phone call from anybody. So anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so tired of my phone, man. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
I stay away from my phone at all costs most times. Anymore. Right. I'm like, oh, God. Right.
And then last up, Mr. Ben Harley, we had another successful Oktoberfest for Alpha. It's assisted living. It's the charity that Angie is a board member of. That is a charity for the organization that houses Corey and other special needs people and stuff like that. So a pretty successful Oktoberfest again. So it was good. I think they had less baskets, but made the same amount of money as last year. Really? So it's actually an upswing there a little bit. Yeah.
Good.
Drank a couple bottles of wine. So got drunk, told everybody what they needed to hear, and went home, and that was it. I needed a little bit of a release. So last year Angie got so drunk she was shushing me. I think so. This year was my turn. Of course, I don't act quite the same. It's kind of harder to tell, but I knew I was a little pickle, but had a good time. And congrats to Angie for another successful event. Her and her other team members did a good job. So
because that takes a lot. That takes a lot of effort, and God bless them.
Well, it's kind of nice because we were kind of walking around the back of the building, so she didn't have to run into a bunch of people on the way to do something. And I looked at her like, now do you know why I stay backstage? Yep. Now do you understand? Now do you understand why this is stressful for me? Playing shows, playing gigs. It's very similar. Exactly. She had her gig. Yeah. That was her gig, so. Yep. Not a bad time. Not bad at all. So had a pretty decent time. Awesome. Yeah. Let's see here, Mr. Ben. Only a few things.
Especially the wine. That was really good.
One bottle of red, one bottle of white. Down the hatch, baby. Had some Malbec and then had some Riesling, and then I was doing some reasoning. I think I pretty much bullied about 9 people into CBD oils. Let's see what else. 4 other people are out looking for Bigfoot as we speak. Good. Let's see. Let's get to a couple things I looked at, because then we'll get to a little Bigfoot stuff here in a minute.
Yeah.
First,
I got one thing I did remember, Timo.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
I'm sure it's something. I know it's something you watched, and we will talk about it. Yeah.
All right. We'll pop you over there in a second.
Yeah.
First up, let's see here from 1959. 1959.
Whoa, okay.
This goes on about once every 6 months to a year. Okay. Right. Watch the Hammer movie, The Mummy.
Okay. Well, this is good.
Yes.
Okay.
No, about 6 months, once a year, I have to watch The Mummy, the Hammer one.
Okay.
Because
this is good. So this is good because this is going to tie into something.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Perfect.
Good. So
very good.
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. I was a little flabbergasted. Okay. I'm like, wait a second. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's a comfort watch. Okay. I know I'm going to like it. I know it's the best. It's almost like a Christopher Lee Dracula movie. Okay. I'm in pretty good hands here. I'll just throw the shit in. I'm all right. It'll be okay. It's okay. So
it's okay.
Enjoyed looking at that. And then from 1977. This one was more of a curious thing. I don't know why I did this to myself and Angie, thing. But from 1977, pulled out the movie Chosen Survivors.
Okay.
If you remember Chosen Survivors, it's the movie where all the people they get sent down in the underground bunker and they're told that there was a nuclear holocaust and bats attack them.
Yeah.
Weird movie.
Yeah. Is that where they end up leaving the vents open or something.
It's something like that. It's like the shaft on the way down to the underground thing is.
You did all this and then you screwed that part up. Right? Okay. Yeah.
It's got a very.
We left the windows open.
It's got a super interesting cast. Like Richard Jekyll is in it, and Bradford Dillman. Lots of other 70s character actors. Matter of fact, I am surprised Sid Haig was not in this thing because it was right up his alley to be in it. But anyway, I just can't recommend this. It's so weird. It's shot really weird. It's like one of those, as we say, shot through a cheesecloth looking movies. And it's a lot of like bent lenses, like fisheye type things. And I don't know, just weird. Just a bizarre movie. So, let's see. Okay, now on Amazon Prime. Right? Okay. This is a ding, 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 ding alert movie. Like you talked about Apollo 11, I think, last week, which I have on Blu-ray now. Thank you.
Boy.
Yeah. So this is a ding, 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 ding movie. Okay. So it's a documentary, 2-parter. All right. Elizabeth Smart autobiography.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I saw that on there. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. First of all, she's a weirdo.
She's kind of she's odd. I think that's a lot
and I don't mean I don't mean it's because of what happened. I think she started off a weirdo.
I think
she's not Bird. She's not Bird. But to hear her story and to hear it told by her and her family, because that's what it is. It's told by her, her family, and the cops. They're all the people talking about, and even some of the people that she ran into while in captivity are in this thing. They took her out to parties. To counterculture parties in Utah. Those are some wild counterculture because they're countering quite a culture. It's Salt Lake City around in there, So, there's Mormons. Yeah. But it's just an insane story. Now, just because she's an odd bird, you still need to listen to this and still need to watch this, because, okay, so what? She's an odd bird, And can we all just collectively look at each other and say, she's really, really hot. I'm sorry, but she's really good looking. I mean, she really, really is good looking, I don't know. I'm just telling you, right? I mean, come on. Help me out.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down, Tim.
This is totally different, though. She was a little girl taken.
Yeah.
I think she was actually 14, that's about the creepiest age to take a kid. Not that there's ever not a creepy age to take a kid. I don't mean that, but you're a special kind of creepy when you're prepubescent. That just makes you really.
There's something really, there's something very wrong.
And I know it's really wrong for guys with daughters like you. I don't even have a daughter. It's still really.
Yeah.
Rest assured, it's icky for me too. So, So, but you need to see this. This is like, wow. I didn't know this whole story. This is like, and here's the other thing too. I kept thinking about, the little beauty queen girl that got taken out of her house in Boulder, Colorado.
JonBenet Ramsey?
Yes, JonBenet Ramsey. Yeah. I got to tell you
something.
That's
still a weird-ass story.
It still is. But if you watch the Elizabeth Smart, I want you to think about that. I watched an in-depth documentary about that story. It is downright frightening.
Yeah.
How
you were talking about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay, sorry. But I remember you talking about, watching that other documentary.
Yeah. But this is like...
pretty similar, huh?
Very. Okay. Very similar. Like, creepy. And the other thing about the Elizabeth Smart story is that he had a whole thing in his mind, the guy that did this, like a whole religious whack job. It was his insane version of Mormonism. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Like,
sure.
Like an insane version of it. Okay. Not just crazy, insane.
Okay.
So she made a mistake, Elizabeth Smart did, and talked about her cousin. He broke into her cousin's house and tried to take her. And the cops just dismissed it as a copycat thing. No, that was him. Okay, but the way it happened was 100% the exact same story as JonBenet Ramsey. I mean, it's the same thing. So you got to sit there and go, whoa. And they never caught that person.
No.
So just saying, out there in the, in the mountainous West, all around the same mountain range, and they moved around. This guy moved around. It's just crazy. I don't know if anybody else has ever thought about this and made a connection, but if you ever do, think about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that I'm McGruff.
Crime dog McGrath. Yeah. Could be them.
Anyway, Elizabeth Smart autobiography, pretty insane. Last up, Mr. Ben Harley, we have on Amazon Prime. Now, this is an easy watch. It's only like 20 some odd minutes long. Right. It's from 2019. At least that's what it says on Amazon Prime. It's called My Journey with Monsters.
Ooh, okay.
This is about a gentleman by the name of C. Wayne Wilson, who is a former wrestling promoter. A former wrestling promoter from Reedsville, North Carolina, who sees monsters in his city park across the way from his house. This is one of those ones. It's mostly Bigfoot. Now, he's not seeing like vampires. He's seeing Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think he's seeing
cryptids or
he's seeing cryptids. Not just one kind either. Mostly Bigfoot, but he's seeing other things too. He's basically taking pictures of leaves dancing together. He's one of the guys that sees shapes and smatterings of leaves that are nothing more than smatterings of leaves.
I have a hard time with those photos, like of that. To me, I don't know. I don't.
Well, then he had a woman who's a psychic who came and she could see what he sees. So she didn't help him. She just basically sat there and said she sees the same things that he sees. And they started asking her about this stuff. And Ben Harley, she brought up the frequency. People's frequencies. No. And I was like, my frequen's going
your frequency.
Way down.
She just lost my frequency.
She just lost the frequency. Yeah, it was not. But for 20 minutes to watch a guy that looked like he might have been an old like roadie for Whitesnake.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's interesting. And it is only 20 minutes long. But it's just one of these things where I don't want these people on my side.
Right.
I just don't want them on my side. It's very frustrating. And like when we had Jeff Byers on the show from Creature Replica, and he goes out and he has a lot of experiences in the woods, and I believe him. I don't know what's happening to him, but I believe he's having these experiences and stuff. So he's convinced that they're not totally animal. They have to be, their intelligence level is much higher than the normal animal.
I would think it would have to be. That's I think, but I don't know.
Right. And Jeff made the connection that he thinks they're at least part human.
Yeah,
I don't know if I buy that as much as maybe they're just shockingly intelligent. And I think that's part of us thinking there's nothing intelligent besides humans. I mean, whales, they could probably solve a math problem. But they can't grab a pencil. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do. So, So
this is true.
Right.
Dolphins are pretty smart as well. But
right.
I don't know, buddy. Yeah, I that's the thing. It's like I don't know. I don't know if I want to go believe that they're part human. I just think they're just a different type of gorilla, a mountain gorilla, I guess, or some kind of. I mean, it's just a different type of animal to me. It is. But very intelligent. But I think they just know their surroundings very well too. And plus, the opposable thumb, Timo, right? Mm-hmm. They can do probably a lot more than a regular gorilla could do. I think. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never shook hands with a Bigfoot, or a gorilla.
Mm. I'm curious as to what that. Unless it's just you're just falling back on what's intelligent, a human.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm kind of wondering if that's what you mean. Like they're more intelligent than any animal they've ever experienced or any animal they know exists. And I think that's sort of like walking upright. When you start thinking about it, like walking upright, it seems like people think we have to have like the corner on that. And we also have to have it on the intelligence. Well, I think what I personally think that, and I'm not to ask Jeff about this more in depth.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do you mean you actually think it's human, or do you think that the intelligence is getting to that level to where you're wondering if it can be fit in our, tree, in our species tree or whatever? Just very curious because I'll buy the intelligence is getting up there.
Yeah.
I can believe that. Part human, I don't know. I mean, part human. You mean they're a branch off from that tree? What do they mean? And I don't know if they know what
are they mating with humans? I mean, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I start kind of floating away too.
Yeah,
I do because I don't know. It's just do mountain gorillas have legends of humans taking their women away?
Right. I
Bring
don't
him
know.
back with ape human babies. I
don't know.
Why would a different species find our women so attractive? Do you find the women of other species attractive whatsoever at all? Like, I don't even think that's in the abbreviation of
that's Captain Kirk,
LBGTQ or whatever.
Captain Kirk,
Right. So, but anyway, but this was it was interesting because it was short.
Sure. Yeah.
More or less. And you do get reminded that you got to keep your head on your shoulders when it comes to some of these monsters and stuff. It's like, okay. It's like, all right. And also got to remember that people that criticize you, they see a lot of these dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're the ones that get the attention, or the whack jobs and stuff like that. But it was interesting. Guy seemed like a nice guy, just kind of a sad guy. When you see him, like kind of a lonely guy that's seeing monsters out in his woods and stuff.
And he's hoping for
Reminds me of a guy named Ben Harley. But
yeah, exactly.
Wait, you said you got something to look at? Are you looking at something?
Tim,
what you got?
Well, yeah, it's funny because you just mentioned The Mummy, and I so happened to. Well, I think it's about 8 hours long, but I happened to watch most of the new version of The Mummy.
The Tom Cruise thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now here's what. Now you watched it, right? But
no, I got about 5 or 10 minutes into it.
Well, maybe you could help me.
I looked like a giant middle finger in the screen pointing at me, so I just turned it off.
yeah. Well, okay, so I know he was on a plane, and then when I tuned in, the plane crashed. It must have just crashed.
Okay.
And so then he survived the crash, and the mummy was, I think, on the plane. And that, I mean, I got the gist of that from the trailer, but my problem going into that thing, even that trailer, was the reason I didn't want to go see it, is like, didn't Tom Cruise, wasn't he on the side of an airplane in one of the Mission Impossible movies too? It's like,
probably. I don't watch those either.
Why? No, I haven't watched them either, but I remember that was a big thing. It was in the trailer, and I'm thinking to myself, why is he doing this again? Doesn't he even think about, like, man, I've been on the side of a plane before. This might actually look a little bit too much like Mission Impossible instead of a mummy or a Universal type monster movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Tom Cruise, man, little short man syndrome. He's got a fucking. And here's my other problem. Okay, before I even really get into the meat of the movie, now Tom Cruise, I don't really have too much of a problem with Tom Cruise because I don't really think about Tom.
Congratulations, I do.
Exactly. I don't. I just never really. I've never really cared either way for the guy. That much. Sure. Now the only thing is he has a daughter with Katie Holmes, and Katie Holmes is from Toledo, Ohio.
Right.
So there was all that big hoopla there for a little while here in town, and whatever. So I don't care. I don't care what Tom Cruise does or what planet he's coming or going to through his interdimensional Scientology stuff. I don't care.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, and you made a couple good points. I think we talked about him in a couple movies.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't think he's a bad actor. I don't think he's a great actor either. But why can't he change his look, Timo? He still looks like the same guy in Risky Business, but 30 years older or 40 years old. You know what I mean? He's got the same haircut. And I swear to God, in this movie, and the movie itself, I didn't think the movie was as bad as he was. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, I'm thinking to myself, this guy doesn't even want to act in this movie. He's like, I don't even know what to equate it to. It was like, dude, you were a better actor in Risky Business. Like, you actually put forth some effort, man. You didn't put nothing into this, man. And then, like, so somehow he's linked to the mummy, and I must say, she's kind of hot. I will say this time, I enjoyed it a little bit more getting to see her become more human than, watching this guy, you know what I'm saying, Tim. Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. I'm going to be a little male chauvinist real quick, but she was a little good on the eyes, at times. But like I said, the movie itself just didn't really, And I'm kind of bummed out because I don't know if they were trying to spin off to do another universe or
yeah,
something,
that was supposed
or
to
still
be.
are.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think
That fell flat.
I think it
I
did
think
too.
that
I
one.
think they're having issues trying to do this, and I'm like, just do something new, please.
Yeah.
Please do something new. The Mummy story is old. I mean, that's almost like a
Literally.
bad.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, it's wrapped up in bandages. I know.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like the Frankenstein 2 thing. It's like, we've been there.
Yes.
Stop it. It's sort of like, I kind of feel the same way about those as I do about, you know, the 80s movies. We've been there. Stop it. Stop remaking Halloween. Stop it. Stop remaking. Now, there's one movie I'd like to see remade. And I admit this. I completely admit that I do have a double standard when it comes to this. And the only reason is because this movie has supposed to have been made since the late 70s.
Yeah.
That remake is A Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
That's the one I want to see.
That's what I was, you know, the whole time I was watching this, because I'm thinking to myself, man, I'd really like for some of this to come to fruition. And that was one of them, was like Creature. But I'm thinking, no, because what are they going to do with that, you know? And this, if Tom Cruise would have actually maybe put forth some effort and then maybe not thrown the airplane in there, and it probably could have had a little bit of merit, but he sleepwalks through it. I don't know. Somehow he's the beloved of the Mummy, and then it's got Russell Crowe in there as Dr. Jekyll, and they want to kill Tom Cruise.
They turn him into superheroes, right?
Sort of ish. Like,
I know they fight. Somebody's got to fight.
Yeah.
They always have to
They
like a superhero.
They got to fight. Yeah, you got Dr. Jekyll fighting Tom Cruise, who. Here's my thing. Dr. Jekyll, like, he has to keep injecting himself with the serum, and he's only on screen for a little bit of time, and he's like, and I'm like, man, you might as well just get something like Bane and put it on your back and just have this constantly going through your body, because if you got to keep injecting yourself every, like, I don't know, 10 minutes, I don't think this is worth it. But anyways, I'm going to give it I can't give it a, but I just can't really. I think it was just kind of. I don't know.
I really honestly I barely started it. I looked. I was like, you know what? I'm not wasting 3 hours or whatever of my time with this.
Let's just put it this way: I was able to walk away, you know, from it and not really care too much about what I missed. There was a cute one girl they had in there. It was kind of cute, but I don't know. You know, her and the Mummy, they didn't fight. That would have been nice if them two would have fought. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. I like the cat fights. Now you got that going. You got some wrestling going. I'm all on board. But I'm pretty sure that I had the Blu-ray, and I think I got about 10 minutes in, and out of protest, threw it away. I threw it away. I was like, I don't want to trick myself into trying this again, and threw it away.
Tim, actually, I like the other Mummy better. The one with Brendan Fraser in it. So.
Well, here's the thing. You know,
at least because they try to give that a little bit of something. This, half of it was good and the other half was just dog shit. You know what I mean? So, and you can't, and it's hard to salvage the other stuff because, you know, and I will say the girl who played the Mummy, she put forth a hell of an effort. Russell Crowe for the most part, but he's pretty good in most anything, but it's just, but it was just dumb. The whole thing just kind of didn't, it kind of reminded me of something like, I don't know, how like that Sherlock Holmes or something.
What about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah,
is that what it's
exactly.
like? Or is it like Van Helsing or one of those like kitchen sink like monster movies? And
kind of more of a Van Helsing
gotcha.
League, but not, the monsters aren't, is like, there's just not enough real monster. Well, she was cool once she became, once she really came to, being or whatever, back to life. But
give me a Mummy. Give me a remake of one of the Mummy sequels. Where it's just a mummy, where it's a monster. It's a mummy,
right?
What they did with her. A mummy coming to life is magical enough. It doesn't have to turn back into a beautiful person and have magical powers. And it's like, I don't like watching the Universal Mummy movie because Karloff kind of shambles around just as Karloff making spooky voices and stuff. Oh, come on now.
Yeah, she kind of, what she'll do, and then this made me, not angry, but I'm like, oh, here we go. You have to touch on this. But like, so she would suck the life out of you, like most I'm not going
there. Stop. Yeah. You've been chauvinist enough. That's enough.
Yeah. So, but then once she would drain your life to so she could regenerate more, it took a while, but she then whatever person or people she would, suck the life out of, then she could use them as the Walking Dead or whatever. So I'm like, there we go, zombies.
Oh God, they had to
so
they
look like zombies for the not half the movie, but a little while, and I'm like, oh God. So I'm like, I'm done.
We are too far away from these origin stories for these to make sense. Yeah. I'm gonna amend what I said about I want to see the creature remade. No. What should have happened is in the late 70s, early 80s, it should have been remade.
Yeah.
And because it would have been really great, because what they had done is they had made a leap from the 30-year period from the 50s to the 80s. They made a good leap of practical effects and lenses and lighting and stuff. And had Carpenter made The Thing and then went on next to make The Creature from the Black Lagoon right afterwards, we'd have another movie in our wheelhouse here that we'd be talking about the great films. I think that personally. Once you get past the late or mid 80s into the 90s anymore, forget it. You that's why Scream was so huge, because it didn't it was new. Yeah. I mean, that was the movie Prophecy, not the Bear movie, the one with Christopher Walken in with the angels and stuff like that. Love it or hate it, that was different. It was different. It was new. I mean, it was angels and stuff. I spawned a whole shit ton of angel movies, which is like, oh God, I've had enough of that now. I mean, I'll even say Twilight. I hate that shit, the sparkly vampire bullshit. But at least it was different. I mean, at least it wasn't Dracula. I was trying to say it was Dracula. So when I watched it, the first one, I didn't think it was that bad. The first one. It just wasn't. It wasn't worth a series of films to me. It was just like, here's an interesting little romantic thing. If you're in the mood for that kind of, but there was enough discovering who this person is and how they're a monster and things to make it mildly. And I'm admitting that. Do I love the movie? No. Do I sit around and watch it? No. I didn't even watch the sequels. I had no interest in it. But I was like, well, okay, but it wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. I don't know. Just do something. Cup of tea. Yeah.
You're not a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah. just stop, I'm going to start remaking Chet Atkins records.
Okay. All right. Can I play?
Sure. Let's see how well we do. I'm going to start rewriting books.
Yeah.
I'm going to start, what I'm going to do? I'm going to remake roadmaps. Why not? Let's do it. It's 2019.
Let's make them more interesting. Yeah.
Mr. Ben Harley, let's get to our official little film. Let's wash the mummy out of our
the mummy. I had, I knew I'd remember some, and I also watched Dragon Slayer, but we won't. Well, we could, I know we talked about that recently.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so. That's cool though. All right, awesome. Yeah. Let's see here. All right, official little film time, Mr. Ben Harley, from 1979. We have the film.
I like 1979.
I do too. We had the film The Silent Scream.
Yes.
Yeah. A little poster art blurb here. You want to hear it? Want to hear movie guy's rendition?
Yes,
the poster. All right, here we go. Let's see. Terror so sudden. There's no time to scream. Terror so sudden. There's no time. That's not how this movie played out for me.
As I say, was that for this movie? Or did you sure you read the right one?
I'm sure, buddy. Let me get you the short storyline here by Movie Guy once again for The Silent Scream. Here we go.
Okay.
During her first semester at college, a co-ed finds housing at a seaside mansion where, following the death of a fellow student, she becomes entangled in a murder mystery surrounding the property and its secretive tenants. Gothic. Total gothic horror mystery.
Yes.
Here. That's what this is. Now, I am going to give you the direct connection between Sid Haig and The Silent Scream, because the house that this was shot at, that they showed, is the Spider Baby house.
Wow. Because that looked real familiar. It did.
No, it's not on a beach or anything. It's up on a hillside.
Yeah.
And I think when they shot Spider Baby, it was kind of remote. Now it's in the middle of everything. So they had to shoot it kind of close. I mean, even in 79, they had to shoot it kind of close. But the exteriors of the house, and I think the interiors too might. I'm pretty sure. I think they did some sets. This movie has a long painful history to screen. We'll put it to you that way. We'll get into it here. So Rebecca Balding plays Scotty Parker.
Okay.
Okay. And for some reason, Cameron Mitchell plays Sandy McGiver. So Rebecca plays Scotty and Cameron plays Sandy. Just letting you know that. We also have Avery Schreiber, the guy with the mustache who was in a lot of commercials in the 70s and bit parts. He was Sergeant Manny Ruggan. So here's this movie, all right? So Rebecca Balding as Scotty Parker. You might know her as Carol David on Soap. She was also Ellen Bradford on Super Train.
Oh, okay. I liked Soap, though. Soap was a funny show. Even as a kid. Oh, my God, that was funny.
Yeah. Let's see. I already mentioned Cameron Mitchell, Lieutenant Sandy McGiver. Avery Schreiber is his sergeant, like his partner. You know him from Caveman, Galaxina, and he was also on the Concorde Airport 79. I miss those old movies, we got Barbara Steele, the legendary Barbara Steele as Victoria Engels. Also the legendary Yvonne DiCarlo.
Mrs. Munster.
Yep, as Mrs. Engels herself.
Marilyn herself.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we have this movie is produced and directed by Denny Harris, known for The Silent Scream.
Okay.
He was a commercial director. This was his one foray in making films. But I will tell you one thing, that he owned his own studio and his own equipment sets, so making this movie was a lot easier than for most folks. So, okay.
Yes,
So this movie was originally shot in the summer of 77. And then it wasn't considered releasable. So Denny Harris turned to Jim and Ken Wheat. They are probably known for Pitch Black, the Pitch Black series, the Riddick movies that came out.
Yeah.
So back in 77, he turned to these guys, writers, to try to fix it, because they made the movie, but he needed to fix it. So basically what they did is all the name actors in the movies I just went through.
Yeah.
The original shot of this film, the original footage has different actors, unknown actors. Okay. So they said what you need to do is you need to rework this, and we need to get some name actors in here so that you can, you can do some. So they basically reshot everything but 12 minutes of it.
Really?
Yeah, and released it in 79. But here's what's interesting about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that even though I'm saying all this, the whole movie, I'm looking at this going, this looks like it was like 82.
Yeah,
it doesn't even look like 79, much less some 77 shit going on.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
It's just odd. I mean, I'm like, there's no way it's that old. And the thing is, too, is the movie has a feel. It feels like movies that came after it, and you sit there and go, oh, Friday the 13th clearly influenced this film. And because I felt that. I felt it was like a giallo movie, but then the music felt like Friday the 13th. Do you feel what I'm saying? It was like, it had that feel. Sort of like I said that There Will Be Blood felt like The Shining to me. It had a similar taste, feel, smell, a look. Definitely had a look. And it certainly had an American giallo feel, which is like a rougher, I guess, gothic. Kind of story.
Yeah.
But it came before that.
Yeah.
This is before Friday the 13th. It was really surprising to me. Like some of the elements involved in how it was foreshadowing things instead of before. I was taken back by that, I have to admit. Now, have you seen, did we review this before?
No. No.
God, I've seen this. I must have seen this a bunch of times.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing this one. And it's funny because when I first came out, the name that jumped out, it was, Yvonne DiCarlo. I was like, ooh, we're in for something a little different, maybe, So, because I know some of the stuff that she did later on wasn't bad, She was creepy, or, did some of the, what was the one we watched, American Gothic, wasn't she in?
Yeah.
What was, and I thought she was good in that. But, I don't know. It moved a little slow for me. But I tell you what, Timo, we are definitely on a creepy kid freak out. Now, this wasn't as much of a kid. They tried to portray him as a little bit younger, I think. But, the kid's a creep, man.
You mean the effeminate kind of like is that a woman in man's clothing kind of person?
Yeah. It's just and what a creep too. I don't know. I think we're definitely on the creep freak out for sure.
Yeah.
I feel a little smarmy watching these.
What's a spider baby house to go along with it too? So.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I just now it has the thing too, like, so the premise is too, like, she's basically going to that house to stay.
Well, yeah, okay, so it's college. She's just looking for a place to stay while she goes to college, and all of the regular housing is taken up. And so what they did is the lady, when she was signing up for school, lady said, "Well, I have some leads here, but these haven't been approved by the board yet. So you have an opportunity if you want to stay here, but we can't. You're not. You're on your own with this. But here's some leads.
Good luck with it."
So she goes around a different place, which is kind of funny because she goes around to different places, and of course, a lot of it's dudes like us.
Yeah.
You open the door, you got a wife beater on, you look at me like,
come
the
on
girl's
in.
like, yeah, forget it. I'm not staying here. Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
Right. And which house does she pick? Probably the most frightening one, the normal
the worst one.
Yeah, exactly. But so, yes, that does happen. And then it's like an onion layer movie, like a peeling back of the gothic story of this family and everything as the movie unfolds and people get killed. And that's the thing. That's the giallo thing too. This is an early slasher movie.
Yeah.
You
it gets going right. It's not a whole lot of messing around, I guess, at first, but there is kind of like the part on the beach. The guy kind of falls asleep. They're kind of partying down on the beach. The guy falls asleep, but then is woken up because the tide's coming in or whatever. And he just wakes up to it's kind of like he wakes up out of a stupor and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then you get stabbed. Bam. It's like, whoa, it was kind of cool, like I say cool, you know what I mean? But I was like, all right, okay. And that's for me, I guess it had that feel like you're talking about, kind of just things are a little off. You're not really quite sure who's who quite yet.
Every gothic story, there's like family secrets, and that's what this is all about. It's like family secrets and stuff. And there's the fodder in the movie are the few kids or young people who are boarding there. They're residents of this house, and so they're the ones that are mingling with each other and kind of getting picked off by who knows who in the house. Could be just damn near anybody or all of them in the movie too. But that's the thing too, there's a lot of stuff, like for instance, I thought about The Changeling watching this when it came to all the secret passages and staircases in the house, and there's hidden rooms in the house, which is cool. I like that, except for the fact it came out before The Changeling. So I'm like, well, not that there's never been a movie with a secret passage. I don't mean that. It's just the whole, the look of it and everything. I was like, God, this is all so awesome. So odd, but and then I kept thinking, I don't know why I kept thinking Friday the 13th. I think that the music score was similar to it. And I think that the giallo feel of it, of the first Friday the 13th movie.
Sure.
It's more likely this was influenced by Psycho.
Yeah.
When you watch it. I mean, when you actually sit down and pick it apart, it was probably more influenced by Psycho. But when you see the movie, it feels more like a Friday the 13th type of giallo. It's almost like a gothic version of that. Again, I'm talking about the first one, which people think there's hockey masks in and shit. There's not.
Wait, what?
One thing that I could probably do without, there's an overabundance of saxophone sex. Now, when I was a kid, that was my titty cue. That was my cue. Here we go. Lean forward. Here it comes. Now it's my potty cue. Time to go potty. I hear the saxophone sex. It slows movies down. And that's the other thing too, because Angio brought it up. She's like, "There's your saxophone sex." And I'm like, wow, that's not a 70s thing either. That's an 80s thing.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff in this movie. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff here that's kind of
a little ahead of its time.
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, it really is. I mean, not that it's a great movie.
No,
but it is ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it is. Hiring Cameron Mitchell for liquor money. That was much more of a thing in the early 80s. Sorry, but
but no, I just for me, it did have a feel to it. It needed a little something more, I think. It was a little, for me, a brightly shot. It's not, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
any more shadows?
Yeah, it felt like a seaside resort, though it wasn't. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, but it was just too. I don't know. It was too friendly.
Mm-hmm.
The feel of it, I guess, as far as it needed a couple more night type scenes, or I don't know.
The way I see it, maybe it's what you're trying to articulate. You tell me whether I'm right or wrong, but the movie keeps things interesting, but it never really gets cooking.
No,
and I think
really.
It's almost like they're setting up for us terrifying nighttime stuff, and you don't see it. There's a lot of basements and dark places and stuff. So maybe it's the same way. It's not boring. It's not boring where it's not interesting. No. You're watching stuff, but you're waiting for it to really sizzle and start going and go crazy. And as soon as something interesting happens, it just edits. And there's some really bad, hard edits in this movie.
Well, that was the thing, because I wasn't quite sure what, because the lady living in the walls, she comes busting out, fine, or whatever. And then I thought, well, things might get a little bit more interesting, which it kind of did. But then it just didn't really, like you said, it simmered but not cooked. How about that, Tim? It just kind of simmered. It never really boiled. How about that?
And it wasn't Barbara Steele's fault, because I thought she was really great and creepy in that kind of mute role where she's the crazy lady living. Yeah, there's a part where she does pick off one of the girls, and she has her in the closet and she's painted up, and and that was kind of a crazy she's painted up like a doll, or or it would be like one of her, or a little friend, or a little playmate, or something weird, and that was really kind of like, whoa, okay. But then, like I said, it just didn't really go. No, I don't know. And then I saw the whole thing coming with the kid, and I was like, and to tell you the truth, Tim, I didn't even hear the line, and I was like, that's her son. I knew it. Yeah.
Boom. I just knew it. I was like, okay, here we go. And and I'm like, so I went back and I'm like, yep. Okay. Yeah. And I'm just like, I knew it, I don't know. Not that I'm a genius or by any means. It's just, I don't know. I was like, it was almost a letdown for me. I was like, oh, well, just I hope she goes more crazy. I guess I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too, and I think that's where the disconnect with the Friday 13th is. Friday 13th gets cooking, whether you like it or not. I don't think it's a great movie, but it does get cooking a little bit. Good, last 10 minutes or last 15 minutes.
Yeah,
this cooks a little bit, but there's a fight that Rebecca Balding has with Yvonne DiCarlo over a knife that goes on for like a minute too long, and it's just them kind of dancing around with the knife. It's like could have been like a 2-second little skirmish there. You don't need that.
Yeah.
And so it's not perfect by any means. And when you think about basically this movie was almost completed, and then all but 12 minutes were reshot and recasted and stuff. It's really not that bad. I mean, but I think for what they had, you're right. I think that explains some of the weird editing and hard edits, and some of the bizarreness of it. But
and that's hard for me. No pun intended. Those edits, those are just, it's bad. It throws me off. It does, and then I'm like, what am I? I don't know what movie. It's like I feel like you're trying to shove 2 movies down my throat, or 3, or 3 plots, and I'm not sure which one to stick with, because one's a little bit more interesting than the other, but there's still, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I have a hard time with some of these, and then going back and hearing, but you say that now I can understand it now, because it's odd. It's just odd. I don't know.
There's something about this movie that I don't hate though. I think that I kind of appreciate what it is. It's not like a go-to movie on any level whatsoever for anything.
Yeah.
But there's just something about it that I think that its existence is worthy. I think it's like, there's some things going on here. And especially when you really put your thinking cap on and go, now hold on.
Yeah.
Now I'm not watching a movie made in 1983 here.
Yeah.
I'm really not watching a movie that's created in 77, 78. And it was right there, man. I mean, it was right with what was cutting edge, what was going on, and so I appreciate it for that. I don't think it's a wholly successful effort, but given what happened to this film being reshot and everything, pretty good at, I mean, they stitched it together. It feels a little stitched together, but it could feel a lot worse. Ben Harley, we have reviewed some movies that have histories like that are just insufferably terrible.
Oh yeah,
just awful. And there was a steady hand going here. I mean, it looked like, I think I appreciate the fact that the director, the guy who actually made the movie to begin with, said, I made a shitty movie. I need help to fix this.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do. That's like you saying, I made a shitty shirt. I need to go talk to Joel Robinson or somebody like another artist friend. Yeah. That's hard, man. That's
fuck this hard up. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course, if you have a couple $1 million invested in a t-shirt design, you might ask for a little help too, right?
Yeah, you're gonna be scrambling for help.
Right. I'm going to give a Silent Scream just a really, really mild grape ape up, only just for the curiosity of it. I don't think it was bad. I actually think that Rebecca Balding was a good actress. Perky, kind of a good actress. Yeah. I kind of like the curvy roommate, other girl too. She wasn't typical Hollywood lady, and sometimes I like to look at that a little bit. Yeah. I'm not saying I was like, trying to find pictures of her nude online or anything. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting to see. Well, I just thought it was interesting then to see another sex pot sidekick friend. Or something. And she wasn't played as a fat friend either. She was just a normal, everyday gal. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I mean, that was, and I kind of appreciated that. You couldn't really pigeonhole her. I did like that. There was some things in there. Some of the pieces I thought were very interesting for what they were, but it wasn't a wholly great movie or anything. I think more as a geek, I found it interesting. So that's me. Very mild, the mildest of mild grape apes up, and I'm not gonna. I can't poop on it. There's too many positives with this movie that could have been awful. For sure. Right. Yeah, I can't poop on it, Timo, but I'm gonna give it a sort of on the fence. Mm-hmm. I do. I appreciate, especially after seeing it and talking with you and knowing what went on, then I definitely can't poop on it because there's I was close to only for the fact that it didn't hold my attention as much, and I just I think it suffered from it was confusing to me, and I didn't know what storyline. I would have preferred just the crazy lady in the wall, you know what I mean? Sure, more than just, than just all, the cool. Yeah, or made her more monstrous. Yeah, deformed or something. Yeah, she's a good looking woman, but it's like, okay, let's ugly her up a little,
Yeah. Her up a little bit, but I'm gonna give it a little bit more of it. Yeah, I'm on the fence,
Well, when you think about that they did all this because they really wanted to make a good movie. Yeah. And then you think back to the Mummy movie you just watched and realize that they probably wanted to make a good movie too. I think I'll stick with the Silent Scream. So that's
you might want to.
Yeah. So all right, two very mild grape
the way things are going, Timo. Yeah, you definitely
right. So two very mild grape apes up for the Silent Scream. Yeah. Kind of interesting though. Yeah. I'm really surprised that we didn't review this because I mean every single scene I watch and going, I know this. Like I know this movie pretty well, but I don't know it well. Every scene, the beginning of it to the end, even the woman telling her you need to go find other places to look, and in the beginning, like when she was registering for school and stuff, I'm like, all of this, and I know I've seen a lot of movies. I know that that's what I do, but normally if I remember something like that, I really remember it. Yeah, and I don't recall when I watched this. I don't know, but it felt like I had seen it as many times if I'd seen something like The Fog or something. I just knew it. I knew the movie. Yeah. So whatever, but still very mild grape ape up. Interesting film. Spider Baby House. Saxophone sex for that. So, all right, Mr. Benha, let's get out of here. Not sure what we're doing next week, but let's try to shoot
some saxophone.
Yeah, I was going to say let's try to not have saxophone sex, or heavy metal sex either. That bothers me. Yeah. How about we just try to get a horror movie and have some implied sex in the other room going on. So.
There you go.
So next week, Mr. Ben Harley, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.